Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Celebration, the International Low Carb Awareness Week. And today we will be graced by the presence of one of our beloved low carber in the community, Mami Ruth Tumbokon for Low Carb for Senior Citizens. Mami Ruth is a 73-year-old retired, actively participating in professional amateur dance sport competitions in the USA, currently based in the USA, graduated in UP Diliman, Quezon City with a master's in education degree and taught at UP Integrated School until 1983. She immigrated to the US with her family, studied and completed a degree of computer science, and worked for Johnson& Johnson in information systems for 25 years until her retirement at 62 years old. So that's practically 11 years ago. Her LCIF, or low carb and intermittent fasting journey, started 2.5 years ago when she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in November 2020 and was prescribed with metformin. On May 2021, she took a class on diabetes, masterclass on low carb and fasting under yours truly. And after 3 months only, her HbA1c dropped to 5.7 and her primary doctor stopped the metformin then. She was overweight before and as a bonus lost 15 pounds, making her one of the healthiest senior citizens doing dance sports competition in 3 months time only. She is now on diabetes remission for 2.5 years and determined to maintain it for life. So let us all welcome Mommy Ruth Tumbokon. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So, as you can see, it's low carb Lola, and that's Mami Ruth Tumbokon because Lola here in the Philippines means grandma, and she's a proud grandma doing low carb. Is that true, Mami Ruth?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I love being called Lola because I'm proud that being a Lola at my age of 73, I feel healthy and fit and fabulous.
Yes, and we can see it from here. We can even feel your energy from here. So, we would like to ask you some questions in hope to inspire other seniors to hopefully maybe make their lifestyle choices better, learn a thing or two from you so that at least they can also achieve some degree of better health and enjoy more life as they reach their senior years. So, before we delve into our current lifestyle, I would like to ask, before changing your lifestyle, before that's what you said in 2020, how healthy you think you were compared to other seniors?
Yeah, I thought I was really healthy because I was very energetic. I've been in a healthy lifestyle, eating well, I thought. Eating well and exercising. It's like exercise is part of my lifestyle. I actually started exercising when it was still Jane Fonda exercise. In When I was 20, when I was going to college, I would run and do all sorts of exercise. And then when I came to the US, I happened to work with Johnson and Johnson, and they really encourage people to be healthy. Actually, they would give us like perks if we have a
Mhm.
gym on site. So if we go exercise during a lunch break, they give us like perks here and there, and I would do that because of the perk. But anyway, it's been part of my lifestyle. So when I retired at 62, I happened to have a passion for dancing. I like dancing, but then I was really competitive. So I went into competitive ballroom dancing. I went, I danced waltz and all of that stuff, and Latin dances. And of course, I have to be fit because, I have to be able to compete for like 8 hours a day during the competition. So I was still exercising, but I didn't know. nutrition. I mean, I knew nutrition from what I learned from traditional, you know, traditional nutrition. So I didn't know what high carb is. I didn't know what low carb is. I would eat like there's no tomorrow. Like, like traditional Filipino meal, rice 3 times a day, snack in between, like chips. And here in the US, like there's a lot of, those junk food, you would say. And I gained weight. So actually, my doctor told me that, I mean, he was an older doctor. And he said that if you don't lose weight, like you may die young. And that scared me actually. And so I went into a yo-yo diet. I would go for like not eating, or I would go for cabbage soup diet, or Nutri-System, all those kind of diet. And they just go yo-yo, up and down, until like, so I was like 130 pounds. And for a petite person like me, I'm just, 5 feet. Like they would tease me like I'm like a rolling ball dancing in the ballroom things. And I kind of like felt, like inferior and all that stuff. But what really, so that was my lifestyle. I was into fitness, but my nutrition was, I don't know. I didn't know.
So we get the picture. So generally, you were like putting all your faith in exercise and physical
Yeah,
activity, thinking that it can outweigh whatever diet, whatever bad diet you may be having.
yeah, yeah,
And as I can see, it's good that you've built that habit. I think I can still feel that even if your health somewhat deteriorated over time, still
yeah,
that exercise that you've been doing ever since you were younger still played a role in making you reach this point. At
yeah,
least right now, we've reversed so many more, and we will discuss more of that later on. But yes, as what we've learned over time, one cannot really out exercise a bad diet.
right.
So that's why I'm glad that we are discussing this now and learning from the mistakes that we could have improved in what you did. So after all those years of exercising, competitive dance sports, and all those, but with a not so good diet on the side, what were your health issues despite your somewhat healthier lifestyle as compared to those who are not even moving a muscle?
Yeah. So I was so surprised at the age of like 57. I was diagnosed with hypertension.
Oh.
And I thought it was related to my kind of work, because I was in information systems. It was so stressful, and
Mm,
I thought it was related to that. But so at 57, I was diagnosed with hypertension, and I was medicated with, at that time, Atacan. So I was
mm.
taking Atacan since I was 57. And then it never, my doctor never removed it. And then when I was in New Jersey, I moved to California. And my primary doctor said that she had to switch me to another medication, because it looks like Adacan wasn't working for me anymore, because I've been using it for a long time. So she switched me to amlodipine. And then my feet got swollen, like,
Oh,
the ankle and everything got swollen. So she added hydrochlorothiazide.
okay. So that's a
So
diuretic.
yeah, so a diuretic. But I wasn't feeling well with both medication. So she switched me from amlodipine to losartan,
Mhm.
but kept hydrochlorothiazide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that was in 19, not 19, in 2020. 2020. So all the
Mm.
time I was taking that medication, and
Mm.
in 2020 she added simvastatin because my
Mm.
cholesterol was like over 200. I think it was 250 at that time. So she added simvastatin. So I was taking losartan, hydrochlorothiazide, and simvastatin.
Mm.
And then, uh, well, that led to other issues. Like,
Oh.
yeah, that led to other issues. So I was getting like dizziness spell. I would, I wasn't really like fainting, but I felt
Mm.
the fainting, like
Fainting
fainting
spells.
symptom
Mm.
or whatever it was. But I ignored it. I thought it has
Mm.
something to do because I was exercising. So I thought it
Mm.
has something to do with my exercise. In the group class, I would stop because I was dizzy. And
Mm.
I thought it was dehydrated, so I would drink water and then
Mm.
continue working out. And and so I told my doctor, I
Mm.
said like, I don't understand why I was feeling this way. And she said, next time it happens again, um, you monitor your high blood pressure. It may have something to do with your medication, and call me right away or leave a message when you feel the same way again. So one day, like I was
Mm.
walking my regular daily walk, and I was dizzy, and I would stop every now and then, but I still didn't pay attention to it. And then when I got home, I I took my, the blood pressure monitor and monitored myself. And then, and this was um, I think in 2020. Yeah, this
Mm.
was in May or no, in July of 2020. So when I took my blood pressure, um, it didn't read. It didn't read anything. So I
Mm.
thought my monitor was broken or something, and it keeps saying error, error, error. And so I asked my son to do his, to
Manual.
monitor himself, and it
Mm.
was working for him. And then I looked again, and then I took again, and it was saying error. And then I looked at my Apple Watch, and there was like, like Apple Watch would take your pulse and
Yes.
everything, and my pulse was like 38 or
Oh
30.
my.
Yeah, so low. I still didn't pay attention.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I was fine. And then the next day, first thing in the morning, I called my doctor, and
Mm.
the nurse told me to come right away. They
Mm.
took they did an EKG on me,
Mm.
and as soon as the cardiologist
Mm.
saw, the results, he told me to go straight to ER.
Mm.
And the clinic was the hospital was right behind the clinic that I went to, where my primary doctor was. And I went to ER. That was July of 2020. It was pandemic, so nobody was there. And they took me right away. There were a lot of people. I said, like, what's
Mm.
going on? I said, I'm fine, I'm good. What's going on? So I got scared. And so there was a hospitalist, there was a cardiologist, there was the primary doctor, everybody was there, and a nurse. And then they said that your pulse is very low, and you got to go first thing in the morning. We're going to schedule you for the pacemaker.
Mm.
So that was it.
Mm.
So my
Oh.
first surgery in my life was that
Mm.
maker. So I thought I was so healthy. And looking back, like learning, I mean, if we jump back, learning what I learned now, I was probably like my electrolytes were low, and it could have been
Mm.
that. You know,
Mm.
I didn't know any better. So so that's my health history.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that one. And it's amazing how you're able to survive still dancing and walking to the ER, walking to your doctor and still talking to him with your heart rate already that low.
Yeah,
So I think we can get some insight from it that
yeah,
exercise can really help you have that allowance, because
yeah,
otherwise, if you've not been a competitive dancer, if you've not been a physically active person, I
yeah,
don't think you can survive all those just by drinking some water or just resting. Most people would have collapsed right then and
yeah.
there. But
That's what they told me.
good
Yeah,
thing you were able to survive that until such time that you were rushed to the ER, and just in time a pacemaker was put into place to regulate your cardiac rhythm. And there are so many community members right now who've had the same case, cardiac cases, and they
yeah,
are so afraid to change their lifestyle, to go into low carb, because they have this health issue. But you having this before changing your lifestyle, I think they would be interested to know your point of view.
yeah.
What was the final push that made you seek other options that lead you to this lifestyle, low carb and finally fasting lifestyle?
Yeah. So, if I may give a preview, my I have a family history of diabetes, of type 2 diabetes, and my sister, my younger sister, had type 2 diabetes since she was in her 40s, and she has been on uh, peritoneal dialysis for the past several years, and so her quality of life has been affected. And being that I'm an active person, I was so scared of being in the same boat as my sister. So in so I had my pacemaker implant in July 2020. So I was back to my uh, primary doctor in October 2020, and for my annual physical, for checkup and everything. So I had my lab uh, results, and I was pre-diabetic before that. I was like 6.5, 6.2, like, but at that point, I was not given any medication, and my doctor actually um, suggested that I see a nutritionist, a diabetes nutritionist. I saw the nutritionist, but I wasn't really following. I wasn't really following what she was saying. She said like 50 grams of carbs. Like, what do I know about 50 grams of carbs? Like, I wasn't really aware, and
Mhm.
I would still eat, my usual meals. So it didn't help. Well, anyway, in October, so my HbA1c hit 7.0. And at
Mhm.
that time, my primary doctor was on vacation, so she had a substitute. So this doctor didn't even tell me to change my nutrition or anything. So he gave me metformin right away. He said, like, at your age, you have to be careful. And he kind of like was threatened or made me feel scared. He said, we have to nip it at the bud. You have to take metformin so we can stop it from getting any worse. So I took metformin, and this time I was really, really scared. So,
Mhm.
anyway, so I've been taking metformin for like 6 months.
Mhm.
And and being that I was taking metformin, I said, like, well, it's gonna take care of my sugar. So I was still eating. I was still eating the same food, the same high carb. I'm kind of like a noodle pancit. Whenever I see pancit, it's
Mhm.
not only pancit for me. Any kind of pancit, unlimited. So, so I didn't pay attention to it. I'm taking medication. I think most seniors have the same thinking, being that they're taking maintenance medication, like that will take care of it.
Mm,
Most people I talk to, like they said,
mm,
"Oh, I'm taking maintenance medication anyway. That will take care of it." And so they keep on doing what they've been doing, not
mm.
paying attention to their nutrition. Well, in April, do you want me to continue?
Yes, yes. Continue.
So in April, 2021, I was on Facebook, and it popped up on my wall, like low carb feasting and fasting. and,
Mm,
and then I saw testimonials of people like reversing their diabetes, like by nutrition, by just eating this and that. And then I had the link to Life Without Rice, and I see, the meals that they were eating and stuff like that, and that got me interested. So I
mm.
said, like, oh, I can stop taking this medication. I don't like taking medication. I can stop it with just nutrition. Let me join the group, and
Oh,
that's how my low carb and intermittent
wow.
fasting started.
Wow, that's really great. And I'm glad that you found the groups on your own. I always believe that it's somewhat almost serendipitous. It's faith. It's really like destiny when you
Oh
found those
yeah,
things, especially those groups. These groups, Low Carb PC and Fasting Community and Life Without Rice, these are actually private groups and non-profit groups. There's no
yeah,
business in these groups. These are
yeah.
just merely people, practitioners of this way of life, sharing their testimonials of healing to inspire others and sharing their day-to-day meals, a life without rice. Because as you know, as you said, Filipinos like us, our normal meal would really include rice or its counterpart like noodles, pancit, bihon, sotanghon, all those. And I can relate because I also love the same foods before. And I'm so glad that despite having medications already and you feeling somewhat better because of all of these treatments, you undergoing pacemaker implantation, still you were open to improve the lifestyle that you have. So now, can before we move on, I would like to share this photo that you sent. So see the difference. That's April 2021 to June. So that's April, May, June, so that's practically 2 months.
Yeah.
And difference, and then you can already see the glow, the loss of excess fats, excess fluids, maybe water retention. And another photo would be from 2020 to 2023. So the difference is really glaring. You're looking even younger. And as we talk to you today, we can feel your energy really going youthful. And this one at 130 pounds, you're so petite at 5 with 130 pounds. And to think your limbs are not that big. So it's mostly on the visceral fats, it's mostly on the central fats in your body. So that's really dangerous. And now I can see you from your post, and now you're looking fit. You're able to maintain. At here in this photo, is it one of your competitions?
No, this was from a party. This is my
As your
first
party.
party. This was my first party during the pandemic. So,
Oh,
and they were like,
socialization time.
yeah, they were like, "Oh my God, what did you do?"
Wow. And these ones, some from your regular days and others from your competition, I guess. I think I saw
Yeah.
some of these photos before. And you even won a lot of dance sport competitions. It is so good to see you improving and still going well and still continuing what you do best and what you love. So this one, can you help us understand this one? This was one of your interpretations from your doctor.
Oh,
Uh, subjective patient presents with hypertension follow-up, diabetes follow-up. Most recent diabetes mellitus ABC scores are as follows: doing well, lost 13 pounds, and no longer diabetic. I think that's really something
Yeah.
that we are so grateful about. And I think any diabetic would want to hear for their doctor to tell them that they're no longer diabetic. So for all of you who are watching, just know that diabetic is no longer a life sentence. It can be reversed. And this one is a feedback from Mommy Ruth's doctor saying she is no longer diabetic. So this is reversible, provided that you will do whatever is necessary for you to change your condition. Hopefully, you can do it with exercise and a proper food protocol that will enable you to maintain a normal blood sugar level even without medications. And if you can retain that for a year, you can already be considered as diabetic in remission. And that's no go signal for you to be complacent and go back to your rice pancit sa panghon, bread, pasta diet, because
Wow.
otherwise you can also go back to being diabetic. And I think this one was very, very happy the moment she said that they will
Oh,
already take off your metformin. So your
yeah.
A1C before, I think that what was the
7.
highest score again?
It
Seven,
was
around
7, and
7.
this was like 3 months after. So in April, when I the last time I saw her,
Mm,
I was on metformin, but it was like 6.2 or
mm-mm,
6.5 in April before
mm,
my low carb intermittent fasting,
mm,
and I was so fortunate that
mm.
my primary doctor at that time, she was on keto. So
Wow,
yeah, so
she's aware.
she's kind of like a younger a younger doctor like you. So she said, go for it, go for low carb diet, and um, if you bring down your HbA1c to below 6 when you come back in July, I will remove metformin. And that was really a motivation for me coming from my doctor. I
Mm,
told her I'm going to go on low carb intermittent fasting. And she said, that's good. And as a motivation, in 3 months, when you come back and your HbA1c is below 6, I will remove your metformin. So
wow.
I was so motivated, and that's why when I came back in July, and she was so happy, and she said, "Okay, we're going to discontinue metformin. It's below 6. I promise you."
That's really nice. And I think your determination and you being a competitive person
Yeah,
really played a lot of role in achieving these goals. So I think mindset really is very,
yeah,
very important in everything, even in our health and in our aim to have better life, to improve everything that we can, regardless of age. You've had a lot of testimonies of you
yeah,
overcoming so many obstacles health wise that otherwise others wouldn't have surpassed. And it's because of that grit and it's because of that determination that
yeah,
you know you can do it.
yeah,
And I think a lot of seniors would really need that, because sometimes if they think they're already in their senior years, 60, 65,
yeah.
they will just accept that they're already old, that they're already nearing their last days. And that mindset already weakens them.
Yeah, yeah. Some of my friends would say if I tell them to like, let's you can reverse or you can heal yourself, and they would say I'm too old for that. I cannot change. I mean,
Oh.
that's their mindset. Like I
Mhm.
cannot change. I'm too old for that. I've been doing this for the past 60 years of my life or the past 70 years of my life. I can't do that. And I said like, well, I did it. And said like, not everybody's like you. I said like, give it a try.
Yeah.
So most their mindset is already like, I cannot do it.
Yes. And it's important for us to remind ourselves that whatever we tell ourselves is actually the truth.
Yeah,
So if you say that you cannot do it, then you cannot do it. But the moment you decide that you can do it, then
Yeah.
certainly you can do it. And I hope you continue to be loud and continue to inspire others, because as what we've seen, you only started your journey to really improve everything, including your nutrition, already at the age of 70. And
Yeah.
for others, they're already lying down, just
Uh-huh.
waiting for time to pass by.
Yeah.
And that can also happen to you. That could have happened to you, but you chose not to undergo that path.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Mommy
Thank
Ruth. And I
you.
think
Thank
we
you.
have a last summary here. So, stop taking aspirin, metformin, and referrals made. So, these ones are already your suggestions. And ever since your HbA1c and your other labs were doing well, were
Yeah.
in normal range. Wow.
Yeah. So my doctor actually said, um, uh, she asked me for a picture because she's gonna post it in her office. You're gonna be my model. And then she said, of all, you're my first patient ever to reverse type 2 diabetes without medication. And I'm
Wow.
so proud of you. I'm so happy. And I hope you don't mind if I share it with my other patients. I said, like, if it can help them, like, share it. I'm willing to share my journey. I'm willing to share my, my experience with them. And says, just looking at your pictures here in my office, it's gonna inspire them. I said it should always come from within, from themselves, because no matter what the inspiration or the motivation is, if the person is not willing to do it, like, you know, um, there's nothing we can do. There's only
Yeah.
so much inspiration and motivation we can give.
Yes. But I think it really pays a lot for us to just be out there, be visible,
Yeah,
because you wouldn't know who would get inspired. So just like how
right.
you found the groups in our Facebook groups
Yeah.
that inspired you, it's been there for, I think, going 4 years now, and we're so happy that you found it, and now you yourself is an inspiration to many more, especially our beloved seniors, because my mom and my aunts and my beloved relatives are already also in their senior years, and there's nothing I wouldn't want for them but to live a more meaningful,
Yeah.
more active, and happier life.
Hmm.
So to help our seniors right now, can you help us know what your routine is, your usual day, the moment you wake up, what do you do, and the most important part, what composes your usual meal, so that they can get an easy idea? Because as you mentioned a while ago, your nutritionist before, a standard diabetic nutritionist, just told you eat 50 grams of carbs per meal without even giving you a visual or something that's really descriptive that you can work on with. How about you share what you are doing right now on your usual day, so that other seniors can get inspiration too?
Okay. Talking about my food, yeah. So I live alone. So there's really no reason for me to cook like really fancy food. So that's one thing, because I'm not into cooking. And I eat 2 to 3 eggs a day. It can be scrambled, boiled, any kind of egg recipe. So that's my staple, are the eggs. I alternate between chicken and fish and meat, and some seafood, but I'm basically eating meat. So I kind of like meat based and high protein diet. And for my fats, I always have like the oh, I put extra virgin olive oil. I cook with avocado. I in my smoothie I put all of those good fats, and I use butter for cooking. So I know, and you know that or all those seed oils are inflammatory. And at my age, I'm so happy to say that I haven't really felt any pain, like those arthritis and gout or whatever. And I couldn't relate with other people when they say their joints are aching and all that stuff, because I work out like intense. I do Pilates, I do strength training, I do like all kind of intense exercise, and they look at me and say, "You're 70s, right?" and I and I don't feel any pain. So maybe because I don't eat most of those. And thank you very much, Doc Grace, for the safe list. I follow
Oh,
it religiously. I'm scared of
wow.
getting I'm scared of getting sick, so I follow it religiously. So if there's anything I eat from the safe list, once in a while, I only eat avocado. I don't eat any kind of fruit, but avocado. And the caution list, I eat uncured bacon, so I don't know if you consider that caution,
Mhm.
caution. But basically, uh, my recipe or my meal is like tinola, nilaga, air fried, adobo. That's it. If I'm eating by myself, like if I have company, then I would cook for them. But on my own, like my daily meal would only be eggs or fish or chicken or pork or meat, avocado and coffee. That's it. And I eat
Wow.
twice a day, no snacks. If so, I
Mhm.
eat. I have like 18 to 20 hours of intermittent fasting, and it has become my lifestyle. I don't really feel hungry, and my big meal is in the morning before I go for my exercise. So that's my big meal of the day. At night, I just have like um, leftovers from whatever, but I don't really cook at night. So very simple. My philosophy in anything, like not anything, my
Mhm.
philosophy is keep it simple and sustainable. Kiss.
Mm.
Just do the kiss thing. Keep it simple and sustainable. You can maintain whatever, diet or whatever nutrition lifestyle you have. Because the more complicated you do it, the more discouraging it gets. And some people too are so like picky with food. Thank God I'm not picky. I can eat anything, and that got me to maintain my way of eating, like the low carb way of eating.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Mommy Ruth. And I think it's very, very inspiring for someone with a pacemaker who've had hypertension and who were diagnosed with diabetes. And the fact that you're already in your 70s, despite not looking like it, and eating a lot of these very fatty foods. Now we are speaking the same language because, we've been saying we are not afraid of fats as long
No.
as it's the natural ones, the good ones. And also, I want to add, you are using it because you're very active.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, if you're just eating all of these fats without you utilizing it,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't be so good as well. So to recap, you said your daily staple would be at least 2 to 3 eggs a day, and then your main protein source and energy source would be coming from meat, a practically meat-based
Mhm.
diet, ranging from chicken, beef, pork, and some seafood from time to time. I think this is just to break the routine. It is somewhat similar to ours. Like our refrigerator is mostly meat, 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 and then some salmon, and then meat, 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 and then maybe some shrimp. That's like us here. And also, when we also have some smoothie from time to time, and yes, we use butter and avocado, VCO, virgin coconut oil.
Yeah,
Others can
coconut
also
oil.
use extra virgin olive oil if they
Yeah.
want to. 2 meals a day is usually enough already for
Yeah.
anyone. Even me as pregnant right now, I still am eating 2 meals a day. Seldom do I eat 3 meals a day. And my, as based on my recent ultrasound, the growing size of the baby, it's still normal. So actually eating 3 meals, much more 5 meals, 6 meals a day is just too much. And you're even doing intermittent fasting at 18 to 20 hours daily, very active. And the most important part here, there's no aches and pains. It's so
Yeah.
funny when you say that you cannot relate to all of those complaining of gout, joint pains, osteoarthritis. And for others, they say na too much physical activity can ruin the cartilage. But I think if you are just eating the right way, eating
Yeah.
the right amount of proteins with the right amount of amino acids, these can be converted also into collagen in our body, because collagen is just a type of protein and it can take care of itself. And you, I'm so happy that knowing you've had a master's in education, so you are actually learning all of these stuff on your own. You didn't go or jump in without thinking, without processing on your own. I'm sure you analyze it
Yeah.
before you stepped in, before
Yeah.
you risk yourself, because of the overwhelming,
Yeah.
I'd say, popular opinion. Because we know now that it's not really a fact, just the
Yeah.
popular opinion that fats are bad, red meat are bad.
Yeah.
And still you were able to scrutinize all of the scientific data, and you decided on yourself that actually it doesn't make sense, because for the longest time we are actually meat based eaters as humans, and you've been doing it for years now. And can you say that you've never felt better, like really
Oh,
healthier in your life?
oh yeah. I felt lighter. I felt more energetic.
Mhm.
I feel more useful. And yeah, I think it's the autophagy that's doing it. It's like they people say, like, when they see me and they see my, like, my glow, and they say, like, I'm aging backwards. So it's like, how'd you do it? You're aging backwards. And then I said, oh, I just do low carb and intermittent fasting. And it says, like, and then some people will say, like, oh, you're starving? No, I don't starve. I eat a lot. If you only see how much I eat, like, I go to a buffet, I go to a party, and my plate is full of, all of those meat and shrimp and whatever. And sometimes I'm so embarrassed because they look at me and says, "Oh my God, you eat a lot."
And I think the one of the other amazing parts, there's so many in your journey that's really amazing, that even if somewhat I already knew about it, but it's still not keeping me from being so amazed and being so surprised. And one thing also is that at 73, you are living alone and
Yeah.
attending to your
Oh,
own needs.
yeah.
That's really something.
Oh, because I refuse to live in my. I refuse to live with my. I only have one son, and I refuse to live with a family because I'm an independent person. I've always been independent, and
Independent.
I come every weekend. My two granddaughters, like, it's like they're my borders. Every weekend they're here, and actually, because they live with me, like on the weekends they are with me, they always watch their macronutrients. So at 8, 7, 9, they always say, like, "Oh, Lola, I ate my protein. I ate my protein first, which is like eggs or something." And they wouldn't even like a cookie. They would only eat one.
Mm,
They I'm glad that they're able to do that at that early age. I mean, like, they're
yes.
fortunate that what
Yeah.
I was able to share with my son growing up, I'm able to share with them, and they know what their macronutrients are. They we go to the grocery store, and they read labels, and they say, "Lola, look, this is only 7 grams of carbs. Can I have it?"
And
Yeah.
I'd say they really got it from their Lola. It pays a lot, maybe, to have a grandma who've had a master's degree in education. They learn so well at a very young age. And knowing about macronutrients, I think they know more
Yeah.
about macronutrients than general doctors, actually, because even for me, I only really paid attention to it after more than 5 years of practicing as a doctor. But now your granddaughters, they're two girls, right? I
Yeah,
think I
two
saw they're
girls.
two
Yeah.
girls. They're so well advanced for their age. And you living alone for a week and then taking care of two kids for the weekend. So I'd say it's really amazing. It's really something. So
Thank
congratulations.
you.
So
Thank you.
I think our audience are really happy to hear more from you. And amongst all of these things, what are the most important learnings you discovered over these years in this way of life, that you something maybe that's surprising for you, that somewhat is drastically opposite of what we've known our last, for you, maybe last 7 decades of existence, that you are now practicing? Can you share that to us?
Yeah. So the biggest learning actually was that everything I knew about nutrition was a myth. Like
Mm,
eggs would cause your cholesterol go up, meat will cause heart attack, and all this stuff. These are all myths, and I'm glad that I was able to learn that these are actually the food that we should eat. The
mm,
protein and fat are essential, and carbs are not essential.
mm,
So when I was growing up, my grandmother would always say, "Eat all your rice, or you will get sick." So now that's the opposite. I tell my grandchildren, "Eat all of your protein, so you'll grow fast and you'll be smart." So that's one big learning about the macronutrients and the myths. And another thing that I want to share is that if one needs to change the lifestyle, they should first know why, identify their why. Because if I didn't have a why, like I didn't want to have type 2 diabetes, I didn't want to be lethargic, I didn't want, so that my big why was I didn't want to have type 2 diabetes and have a very low quality of life. If I didn't have that why, I may not be able to do what I'm doing now. But the why is not the the be all of things. Like after you identify your why, you should be prepared. It's like okay, I have a why, I'll go my low carb intermittent fasting. I mean that's gonna bring you down to failure. You got to be prepared. You research, you join low carb communities, get some support. And the biggest thing for me is I joined, or I enrolled in low carb and fasting masterclass, because that gave me structure. Because like coming from like being a teacher in the past, like if it is structured, there is guidance, there is support, then you wouldn't fall off the track. You may fall off the track once in a while, but you can go back up because you have the foundation, you have the knowledge. If you don't have enough foundation or knowledge, like you make a lifestyle change, and that's a road to failure. So that's another learning that I have. And one more learning is okay, so you have your mindset, you're prepared, you have enough knowledge. Now you're ready. You go. Okay. So, but you have to be determined. You have to have that determination and the discipline, because if you don't have that, it's easy to fall off the track. So, that so to summarize, you should have the why, the right mindset, the determination, and get support. Because sometimes you may give up, but if you have supportive community, you have supportive friends, then that will keep you going. Some people who don't have enough knowledge will see you and criticize you. I had that feedback Many times when I lost weight, they thought I was just losing weight just for the reason of losing weight. And they say,
Mm,
"Oh, you're so skinny. You don't look good. You look old, blah, blah, blah." And those are negative vibes. So if you stay with those people and you hear those negative vibes all the time and you don't have a supportive community that you see these testimonials and inspiration and motivation, then you will just give up, and because you're listening those negative vibes and say like, "Oh, you look so skinny. Oh, you look so old. Oh, you look," all negative. So that's what I would like to say. You need support, and being with the right people will will keep you going.
mm.
I
Thank you
think that's
so
it.
much for that. That's really, really nice. And yes, especially the discriminations, the negative comments for those who don't understand that
Yeah,
they thought that's you're just losing weight and you're getting sick and you're getting older. But what I see in our community, the seniors, especially the females, are prone to really losing a lot of weight as they age, but it's not the end. Once autophagy kicks in a
yeah,
year or two, it will tighten up. Everything will tighten up. Even
yeah,
the wrinkles will be less. But the
yeah,
most important part is your energy level, your thinking. It's no longer clouding. Before, maybe there was a time that you're already starting to be forgetful. The eyes are getting even more blurry, but now we can see that it can really improve a lot when it comes to improving your lifestyle. So it's good. I agree with you. Identifying your why before changing your lifestyle, becoming prepared, having the right mindset, and it pays a lot. Even if there's a lot of pride of doing it on your own, but it's also a lot of comfort and ease when you have enough of these support in our, especially in our community. And once you are ready, you may go and continue to have the determination and discipline for you to keep on doing what you need to be doing. Okay, so okay, so I just changed my internet connection. I hope Mommy Ruth is still there. And thank you so much. And she said a while ago, it's keep it simple and sustainable. And with that one, I'm sure everybody can learn a lot. So we will wait for Mommy Ruth first. So those tips, those learnings are really very valuable. I think any senior, and even me as not yet senior, would really uh, gain so much insight from all of these experience that you've had. Just thank you for sharing your journey, the highs and lows of your journey over the last 73 years of your existence, the learnings that you've finally come up with after going all through that. And before we end, Mommy Ruth, is there anything you want to emphasize or you want to say as last words for our audience in celebration of International Low Carb Awareness Week 2023?
yeah. So I think what I would like to say is life is a gift, and our body is a temple. So
Mm,
we should take care of our body. Um, Health, fitness, nutrition doesn't have any expiration date. It doesn't have any age limit. Anyone can do it at any time of their life, and the younger you do it, the better. My If I knew then what I know now, maybe, I would have prevented whatever illnesses or diseases like my type 2 diabetes. Thank God I was able to reverse it at its early age. I am thankful to God that I had these illnesses in my 60s or in my late 50s. Some people have these diseases in their 40s, and that's very unfortunate. So, just to think that being old is not a life sentence, being old is not a reason not to be healthy. Being old is not a reason not to take care of yourself, because taking care of yourself will make your family happy. You don't want to burden your family, and this is also one of the reasons why I want to be healthy, because I don't want to be a burden to my family. And stay low carb, healthy, happy, fit, and safe.
Thank you so much. Those nuggets of wisdom are timeless, and thank you for reminding us all those. And now seeing it from the perspective of you experiencing it all these years, and now looking back, we always consider the minor illnesses, although it was major for you having undergone a pacemaker implantation. But I think it was a blessing in disguise, I say, that
Yeah.
we were able to overcome given those challenges, and we were able to surpass them and come out not just surviving but even thriving, and not just in your dance sports competition but in life in general, being a mother, being a grandmother, and just living your life now. And I am very thankful that you gave us this opportunity to hear you and to share this ideas and your testimonial to the rest of the world. And to emphasize, as what you said, life is a gift. Our body is a temple. Health and wellness don't have age restrictions. Anybody can start now. And I think everybody should start now. The best time was yesterday, but since yesterday cannot
It's
be
gone.
anymore, long gone. So now is the next best time, and being old is not a reason not to be healthy. And thank you for your positivity, for radiance, for the inspiration that you gave us today. And I hope you continue to be an inspiration and a motivation for our community and for the rest of the world, so that they know, even if it's not low carb or whatever it is that will work for them, just the mindset of staying positive, being really optimistic, and doing what you do best, and being mindful of what your body is telling you. These are important things that everybody should really live on. So thank you so much, Mommy Ruth. This is our episode for today: low carb for seniors, low carb, from Low Carb Lola Ruth. And if ever they have questions, where can they reach you?
Oh, I have a website. I mean, not a website. I have
Facebook page.
a page in Facebook, Low Carb Lola, health and fitness for 70 and up. So even if you're not 70, most of my followers are below 70. And, just I'm not there to give advice. If they want to go low carb, one other thing that I wanted to say is always check with your doctor. Always consult with your doctor, and don't just do it yourself, because knowledge is power, but little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Mm.
So always consult with your doctor. And before we end, I would really want to extend my gratitude. I'm so fortunate to be able to know you, Doc Grace. You guided me from the very beginning. You gave me all the tools that I needed to do this kind of lifestyle. And I'm really very grateful for that, because without that, I won't be able to maintain, or even to do it right. I will be falling off the track and say I give up. But thank you very much for all the knowledge that I gained from you, from the LCF master classes, from your Facebook, from YouTube, and everything. So I was equipped with all that knowledge before I started my low carb intermittent fasting. Thank you very much.
You're very, very much welcome. It's an honor for me to have a student who have a master's degree in education at 73-year-old. And I think no teacher, as you know, a teacher yourself, no teacher is ever successful unless they see their students becoming
Yeah.
themselves. And I'm just so grateful and feel honored that I am somewhat a part of your success story. So thank you so much also, Mommy Ruth. And for everyone who are in our community and who are first timers in our community, we invite you all to be a part of low carb community. We have a lot of Facebook groups, but the ones where Mommy Ruth joined in first would be the low carb feasting and fasting community and life without rice. So these are sister groups. The first one would be where you get testimonials, questions answered, and all of the other concerns when it comes to low carb and fasting lifestyle. And the life without rice is mainly focused on food, on what you can prepare wherever you are in this world. So thank you so much, Mami Ruth.
Thanks.
I don't want this episode to end because we love hearing from you. All of us here in our home love to hear your insights, your voice, and how you transformed your life. It's just very, very inspiring. So I hope we get to hear more from you in our other episodes and as we continue to help our community grow and help the world become healthier through low carb, meat based, intermittent fasting way of life. Thank you so much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. My pleasure.